Hi. Welcome back to Coffee Talk. This is episode 9, I think. Welcome back to Coffee Talk, a series where I make coffee, drink coffee, and talk about something related to mental health or mental well-being. The subject for today is authenticity. Are you living authentically? Of course, as always, we start with coffee. You know the deal. I don't know if I introduced this coffee or not. I might have not. The first thing to know about authenticity, or the first thing to try to figure out, is what the fuck is authenticity? Is it just a quote that people throw out there for cute little picture posts, or motivational videos with an AI voiceover, or whatever, right? Is authenticity just something that the self-help world wants to throw your way to give you an illusion of something? Well, yes and no. You could have that aspect of it, right? If you're focused on it just because of the pretty quote, or because of the appeal that it has in media. But authenticity is just being your true self. Now, who is your true self? And that's actually a trippy question, because you might have an answer right now, but actually, here's the real question for you. Be around no one else. Take everyone else away. Who are you? The reason I asked it that way is because, yes, that's perfect. The reason I asked that question that way is because technically you are many versions of you. There isn't just one version of you. But specifically, there's a version of you for every group you hang out with. You're a different version of you with your family, just like you're a different version of you with your best friend, just like you're a different version of you with your partner, just like you're a different version of you with a stranger. Now, why are you so many different versions? It's not because you're fake, it's actually your survival instinct. What survival is back then, in our whole history as human beings, the way it's worked is if you fit in with the group, you survived. You were fed, you were taken care of. Someone had your back of sorts, or no one was at least going against you if you fit in. That's a survival mechanism that's super normal, super natural. So that's why the question, though, is to find your true self. Take away everybody else. You're not trying to behave the way your parents want you to behave. You're not trying to behave the way your partner wants you to behave, or that you think you have to behave for your partner. Take away the way you think you have to be in a crowd, in a group of friends. Take away the way you have to be with strangers. When it's just you and no other thing, no pressure, nothing else. Who's that person? And then not just who's that person, because that question, when I was first asked that by my acting coach, I lost my shit. I literally had a mental breakdown because I was like, I don't know who the fuck I am. I don't know who that person is. Thinking of a person when no one's around is like, I don't know if I am a person. I am. The reason for that, especially being neurodivergent, super strong ADHD, right? I didn't even know that at the time, is I've been masking my whole life. Now, masking is something you pick up exactly for that, the whole surviving in a crowd thing. But being neurodivergent, I had to mask extra. And also growing up in the traumatic events that I grew up around, in that environment, there's so many masks I had to put on very early on, because I discovered, well, I'm the youngest kid of the family. My sister and I, plus 3 other step siblings. So there's 5 kids. I'm the youngest. Everybody else was causing a ton of trouble. I've talked about that in a previous video. So early on, I already had to become someone. I had to become one, the attention grabbing one. Everybody else was doing bad shit. They were doing crimes. They were doing fucking bad things or struggling. And I had to be my survival instinct was, or the mask I had to put on was be the one that has it together, which is ironic because I was the youngest kid. Closest sibling to me was my sister, who was 5 years older. And then the other 3 were 8, 10, and 11 years older than me. So as the youngest kid by far, the mask I had to put on was being the one that had it together, that knew how to deal with situations. That was the person you could go to. And that was my mask for survival, because suddenly people came to me. And that was a win. That was what I needed. I needed the attention to make sure I was okay, make sure I was taken care of, because otherwise too easy to ignore. And that's one mask. Then take the mask that I had to have with my mom. The mask of being a kid growing up in whatever situation I was growing up, and yet not wanting her to feel any type of regret or shame towards me. So being an example, being a model kid for her, listening to her and not doing anything that was crazy, even though I was doing some shit that was crazy. But still, in the middle of doing crazy shit, being like, but I'm normal. I'm good. I'm well behaved, Mom. I know the difference. I know better. And I'm lucky. My mom was really good at allowing me to be all those things. And she did a good job at actually teaching me to be a decent person. Take another mask that you have. It's the one you have when you're in a crowd and in a group of friends. I'm the guy that sits in the corner. I'm the guy that doesn't want to talk. If we're a group, it's great because it means more people can do the talking and I can be quiet, which is ironic because I'm the one making videos and I'm the one with ADHD that won't shut up if I get started. But where that actually differs is because that's usually a sign of comfort anyways, if I have something to say, if I'm talking. And I'm not comfortable in a crowd, believe it or not. Like if I saw you in real life, I would be probably shakier than you. Like, what the fuck? I'm lucky that to this day, no one's ever recognized me in public. So that's worked for me. Come on. So Who's the real you? Take away all those masks, and what are you left with? Well, you could think, I have no clue. What is that person that I'm left with? I don't have to be good to get them to think nice things of me. I don't have to have a shield on because no one's attacking. Well, the real way to find that true you, the one true you, as much as there's many. Nice, that was pretty good. The real way to find that isn't by just removing everything. It's then asking yourself, what do you care about? Take away everything, what do you care about? And it's okay if you don't have the answer. You don't have to have it. But what's something you're passionate about? I'm obviously passionate about acting. Storytelling is a big thing to me. And I'm passionate about gaming. I like that escape, but a layer deeper, I'm passionate about peace. I'm passionate about nothing. Like doing nothing, not passionate about nothing. I'm passionate about allowing nothing to be a thing. Take away everybody else and I care about being kind. I care about everyone having a good time, even if they're not around me. I care about everyone being in a good place. And that comes from feeling like I wasn't surrounded by that and obviously wishing for that so badly for me. So I care for others to have that, to have peace, to have safety, to have the good things that you should have. I don't know, maybe that's why I make these videos after all. So by asking yourself these questions, you might be already able to find who you are, the real you, because it's easy to think be your authentic self if you're trying to be like what you think others being authentic is. Well, you're not being your authentic self. So that's why you gotta first look within. Find who that is. Find what you care about. I feel like I should maybe give it a stir or something. Here, I'll give it a stir with that. You don't usually stir in Americano, but I want to. Ooh, off that fork, that wasn't that great, but let's hope that sip is better. It is. Okay, I was really afraid for a second. Holy shit. Now, why the fuck does it matter being authentic to you? Why is that important? Why is that something that people tell you? You should be authentic. Your life will be better when you're authentic. Well, it's actually true. Your life can include survival, yes, by being what you think others need around you. That's true, you'll survive, you'll get by. But the goal of life, yes, is to survive and get by, but it's to experience it. It's for you to experience what life is, what this experience of life is, because yours will never be lived by anyone else again. And that's what matters most. You could try to conform, you could try to be whoever they need you to be, but at the end of the day, or at the end of your life, you'll get there and go, what the fuck did I do? Who was I? That's not shit I cared about. Fuck. Why did I waste it all trying to please other people? Or why did I waste it all trying to be other people? Another thing that my acting coach really shoved into us, and that's years and years ago, but I still think about it all the time. He would say to us, even if you copy every single move that another actor has done, a famous actor has done, a successful actor, even if you do every single thing that they did, you still won't get what they did, because that's not your way to get there. That's not your journey. You're not them. That's their journey. That's how they got there. That's how they found their truth. But you have to experience your life in order to get wherever you want to get. And that's the same for everyone, not just actors making it. That's the same for everything. Whoever you're trying to pretend to be because of whatever influence might have worked for that one person, but it won't work for you. It won't work the same. It has to be different. It has to be your version. And being authentic isn't just being your best self, being that real best self that you have. Being authentic is actually accepting your flaws. It's actually accepting vulnerability. That's being authentic. If you think you don't have vulnerabilities or flaws, or you don't allow them to exist, to be a part of you, then you're not your authentic self. You're a full, perfect version of you that doesn't exist, that's not real. So that's a big part that's necessary in finding out who you are, not just all the good, finding out all the flaws, finding out all the things that you're vulnerable about. Now you might think, yeah, but when I'm me, I'm afraid people around me are gonna leave. That's a big fear that I had for a long time. But in reality, it's not that they won't. It's that if being you makes them leave, I hate to tell you, but they weren't supposed to be around. They weren't supposed to be in your life. They don't deserve to be around and be in your life. To be any other version of you that's not your real you, to be any other pretend thing, just to keep people around. For people that don't deserve to be around you because they wouldn't allow the real you to be there, to me that feels like the hardest, most stupidest thing to do. I get where it comes from. It comes from wanting that. I'm supposed to have these things, this connection with these people. If I become me and they all go away, that's gone. I have no one. Well, for one thing, being the real you is gonna bring in other people that are just like that. Yeah, it's lonely at first. Actually, being your most authentic self is very lonely, because not just the fact that a lot of people won't stick around because they can't handle the real you, and that's a flaw for them, not you, for the record. But also, by being your real you, you won't accept shit people around. So it's really lonely. It's lonely. But then you start to discover that your own company is plenty, first of all, and that the people that are authentic and click with you, that show up from you being authentic, count just enough. They fill that void plenty. You don't need 10 fake people if you can have one real person and you can be that one real person for yourself. I have a really big struggle with authenticity, and in my case, it's the inability to not be authentic. Because for so long in my life, I had all these masks to try to fit in, and I never did fit in. For so long in my life, I was everything that other people needed me to be. And it still never worked. I always ended up alone. I always ended up judged. People didn't like me. I don't know. They just all had reasons to not like me. Even though I was trying so hard to be what they like. To be everybody else they like, right? To be them. I did that for so long in my life that it flipped me the complete opposite, especially ever since I learned about all the masks that I did have on. And now my problem is I can't not be real. I fucking struggle to do anything that's not authentic. I struggle with these videos. I usually cut those sections out, but I struggle with these videos when I feel like I'm talking bullshit. Like literally, if I feel like what I'm saying is just bullshit that I'm talking and I don't feel like I'm actually talking to you from my heart, from me, all that, I'm like, hey, what the fuck is this? What are you trying to be? That's not you. What the hell? And somehow it always just flows nicely when I give up trying to be that and I just choose to be me and talk to you and let you know what's going on in my heart or what I think, what I've learned, some type of knowledge that I can share with you. So that's like a curse in a way because it makes it really hard. You see, there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I can't. And they come from either that they would put me in trouble to talk about, or it's just not fair to others to just talk about all that. But that causes a problem for me because making any other video that's not about the stuff I'm dealing with, not about the stuff that's heavy on my heart, that feels like lying. That feels like bullshit. I'm not telling you the truth. I'm not telling you what I'm actually thinking. Like what I'm actually thinking. Yes, I'm telling you the truth about the subject I'm making it about, but I'm not actually telling you what's happening right now. And that's a problem I've had for a while now. Obviously, these videos always end up sporadic. I keep trying to have a schedule, but they always end up just being kind of here and there. And then oh shit, I missed a few weeks. And that's because for a few weeks on recording day, I'm just here going, I just want to talk about this one thing and I can't. So that's like the other side. I don't know. Once you realize how fake you've been forever, it's going to be bad because you won't be able to not be you. I still like that much more. Yes, it makes my life a little harder because I have to feel authentic about everything I do, but I feel authentic about everything I do. I feel genuine. I feel a certain level of fulfillment. Yeah, I feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I'm missing something when I do that. I feel like at least the little that I do is true. So it's quality over quantity. Now, of course, there's the downside of authenticity. Like I already mentioned, some people will leave your life, right? Some people won't stick around because, well, you won't be the person that they modeled, the person that is it just called modeled? They molded, that's the one. You won't be the person they molded. You won't be the person they can control. You'll be you. And a lot of people will step away for that. Yeah, so that already sucks. Another part is you might suffer a bit more by looking around you and really seeing, one, how fake everybody else is, two, how fake you have to be to fit in with everybody else. Like that's kind of a draining thought always. Even this, once again, I bring the example of me making content. I am not the typical content creator whatsoever. A lot of the times I ask myself two things. Either, am I really wrong for doing this? Should I not be doing this since I'm not them? Or why is it that the system works that way? Why do I just not fit in? But the truth is I never did fit in the system no matter what. Once again, we go right back to as long as I'm authentic, I feel all right about it. Yeah, I have way less success. Definitely way less success. I don't think I'd be broke right now if I was able to be fake, but I'm not able to be fake. So instead, well, yeah, I'm where I'm at and that's about it. There's a funny little story in parentheses here because I actually ended up talking to my friend yesterday, and a friend that I've known now for 10 years, that I met actually 10 years ago. And I was fresh out of college. Like that was the year right after I was done college. And we became close. And I shared with this person, like, I don't know what it is about me, but I just can't get people to like me. I just cannot get people to just like me. For anyone to like me, I have to be someone else. I can't be me. If I'm just me, not only do people walk away, they judge it, they get mad at it, they make sure others know that I am bad in their perspective. I remember I was so worried about all that. And then my friend, she said to me, yeah, but that's because you have a strong personality. And I was like, what? And at the time, I'm telling you, I was trying to fit in so hard, so I didn't feel like I had a strong personality. I didn't feel like I was a person with a strong personality. I wasn't always this fucking boastful, I don't know. But she said, yeah, you have a strong personality, so it's fucking scary to others. And the only people that can stick around are people that either one, aren't afraid of strong personalities, or two, have one just like you. Not the same personality, but just another strong personality. She's someone with a strong personality, if you can't tell. But until I met her and had this discussion, I felt like everything was wrong about me. Why could the average crowd not like me? Why did I never fit in with the popular people? Why was I never seen as top of a group or as like, you know, someone that stands out nicely in a group? And it's because it's a threat to anybody else if they don't have a strong personality, which is shit. Too bad for them. And then the other ones that do have a strong personality, well, I can vibe with. That's all that matters. Yes, I don't stand out. I will not be number one in a group, no matter what. In fact, the story of my life is I can be in the top ranking of any group and still not be seen as that or respected as that. But that's something I'm having to deal with and I'm okay with because I'm me. Another part that's scary about being your authentic self is you might feel like others won't understand you. You might feel like they'll misunderstand you, they'll get you wrong. You'll be yourself, and either one, they'll judge it, or two, they'll be like, what? Why? Why would a person want this or be this? But you know what? Let them be confused. Who gives a shit? Look, if they can't figure it out for themselves, once again, it all comes down to, do you really want those people around? Do you really want the people around that can't even understand the real you? Now, there's some people that you can't just get rid of. Family, for example. Anyone that you're kind of, I want to say stuck with. Obviously, you're not always stuck, but some of them you kind of are, you know? And those people might not understand the real you. They might not agree. But then it comes down to you and your own authentic self and that strength that you allow yourself to be that, including all the flaws and vulnerability. Then you get to set the boundary. They can not understand it, but because you're stuck together anyways, you can either look at them and say it, or you can just convince yourself of that they're gonna have to get used to it. That it doesn't matter if they don't understand. That's a really strong message that I've had in my head lately, like the past 2-3 months, which is, I don't need you to understand. I don't. I can feel whatever I feel. I can be whatever I am. I can do it all, and I don't need you to understand a single thing. Because as long as it makes sense to me, as long as it's truthful to me, that's all that matters. Now, when you are that authentic you, when you realize, well, okay, I care about this, I like being this type of person. This is something I like being, regardless of how it's received. Obviously, please don't be a dick. But then again, if your true self is being a dick, then shit, you're a dick, and that's fine. I feel like if you watch my videos, you're not a dick. I feel like anyone that watches my videos cannot be a dick. How many times did I say dick? But yeah, once you're authentic, once you do choose, hey, I am gonna behave truthfully to me. I'm gonna be my true self in every interaction I have, in every action I do, in every move, in every thought, in every situation. Well, there's a few things that are gonna happen. One, you're gonna actually start to feel less conflicted. You're gonna feel more like aligned with you. You're gonna feel more aligned. So even when things don't go as well as they would have gone had you been fake, you actually feel better about the things in the first place because it somehow respects you. It somehow still takes into account who you really are. And that feels good because you start to feel like, fuck man, it feels great to be true to me. That feels really good. It's really rewarding to be true to you. Fuck, is it draining to not be yourself? I bet you've pretended to be something at some point in your life. Isn't that fucking draining? That's one of the reasons I'm cursed with that today, that I have to be authentic. Because otherwise, man, if it wasn't so goddamn draining, I could be so fake and achieve way more in life. But I don't want that. I don't care what I achieve in life. As long as it's true to me, then that's what matters, because that's all I have and that's all I am, me. And everything I get from being me is something I get from being me. That's fucking good. And if it's bad, if some of it is bad, that's okay too, because, well, I'm living truthfully. I'm living by what I believe. And then, sure, sometimes I'll realize, shit, do I need to believe this? Am I supposed to believe in this? This is not feeling good to me. This is not aligning well with me. Oh, I don't really agree with that. Well, then am I really being authentic? That authentic you isn't one thing that will never change. The real you is ever changing. Every 2 weeks, every 2 days, every 2 hours, every 2 months, 2 years, whatever the fuck, you can change. At any given moment, you can be someone else, not someone else. At any given moment, you can be a new version of you. That doesn't make everything else gone. You only add on top. You can remove some of the stuff for sure, but you were always that person and you evolve. Anyone that doesn't evolve dies, I think. What is it? Oh yeah, that's another rule of acting, which is funny, is the character that doesn't change is the character that dies. If you think about any movie or show, and if you try to remember a character that has the same nature, that is that same nature the whole time, they tend to be the character that goes and dies, right? The character that's like rejecting of everyone, super mean, and then, I don't know, they end up fucking dying. Evolution is the key to your actual survival in life. Because if you don't actually really die, you die on the inside anyways, if you're not changing, if you stick to one version of you. So right, the authentic version of you from 2 weeks ago might not be the same now. And that doesn't dismiss that it was the authentic you 2 weeks ago. It's just that it keeps changing. keeps evolving. And that's fine, because as long as you fucking change, regardless, as long as in the moment you're being true to yourself right now, then that's all that matters. Now, this video doesn't really leave you with a list of steps to take to become authentic. It doesn't. But some steps you can take are self-compassion, allowing yourself to be who you are, allowing yourself to have the flaws you have, to have the anything that you have and are, allowing all of it to be, to exist, accepting it. Showing yourself compassion for having it, even the bad. That's one step already, because, well, then you're not being a fake version of you insulting the real version of you. You want the real you to be the one that embraces it all. So self-compassion and self-acceptance is definitely a step there. I think in the process of becoming yourself, if you aren't already, in the process of becoming your authentic self to others, you get to do this thing where, yes, a lot of people will walk away, but you get to filter the people that you do want to keep around. Being you will start to make you look at the people around you different. And then you'll start to notice, hey, this is someone that's valid to keep around.
What language should I translate to?
Okay. Is it?
Since I'm not sure what language to translate, I'll stop for now.
Good. Stop. Shut up. What the fuck? Can you tell I have a Google speaker? Those things were never that smart. Can't wait until they shove an AI in that and I can actually talk with it and it can make sense. Anyways, that was a random little parentheses or moment that I lost. What's that? Oh, there you go. You'll get to filter now who gets to be around you. And that's a nice way to surround yourself with the right people. If anyone has the same type of personality as you, not the same person as you, same type of personality. So strong personality if you also have one, or someone who's not so much of a strong personality if you're someone who's not so much of a strong personality yourself. Surrounding yourself with the people that align with you will help you be yourself. I think there's this, I don't remember where I read that, but you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. So if you surround yourself with a whole bunch of people you don't align with, you're still the average of that. You are the equivalent of those 5, the middle ground. So if they're all people you definitely don't agree with, well, whether you see it or not, other people will see you as just like that. And then you can realize that maybe if you're not living up to being your true self, and that in fact those 5 people are definitely not like you would agree with, if those 5 people aren't people you align with, then you can realize, holy shit, if I want to be my true self, I also cannot be with those 5 people as my closest people. And I guess the last thing I can say is just embrace you. You're unique. Your life will never be experienced ever again and has never been experienced ever before. You are the only person in the universe that gets to experience every single thing that you experience how you do. That gets to be the real you. Because if anyone tried to pretend to be you, just like sometimes you try to pretend to be other people, they wouldn't succeed. And somehow you know that. Somehow you know if anyone tried to be you, they wouldn't actually be you. They'd be a caricature of it. They'd be a parody of it. They would never be that. Somehow you know that about them, but then you yourself try to be other people, or you try to be what other people need you to be, or you try to be what you have pressured yourself to be. Because, well, society, your life, your upbringing, all these things built a narrative in your head that you have to be a thing, and then as long as that hasn't aligned with you, you're still fighting yourself to be that. Well, the thing is, once you start being you, it's actually much quicker. Because it turns out you trying to be this version of you that you thought you needed to be never worked. That's why it takes so long. It'll never work. You'll never be that. And you'll waste so much time. But when you're actually just becoming the real you, when you actually allow this person, the real you, the one that's in there, the one that thinks, the one that observes the thoughts, because you're not just the one that thinks, you're the one behind the thoughts too. Experiencing the thoughts in the first place. That person, it's going to be so easy to be that. It's only ever difficult because it's scary. But that's it. So be courageous, be you, accept it all. Live your best life too. Look, life is short. I like to think about death. I have a whole video about that, but I literally like to think about death as a motivation for life. To me, death is something that's gonna happen and I welcome it. Even if I die tomorrow, that's fine. Because my main goal is, no matter when it comes, I just wanna know that I made the best of it the whole time. I just wanna know that I lived my most true life up until the end. Even if that's tomorrow, or if it's in 80 years, whichever one it is, when the time comes. I just want to know I wasn't full of shit. And, well, it turns out that's my choice and I get to control that, and obviously then I'm not full of shit. So yeah, are you living authentically? If so, fucking great. Keep doing it. Keep challenging that too. And if not, maybe it's time you give it a shot. If anything, right now it's a new year that just started. You can use that as your motivation. Fucking try being your real self for a year and see how you feel. come next year. See if you feel like you want to go back and not do that. Or if you want to feel like you want to go back and redo every other year before that of not being the real you. I'm just fucking rambling at this point. Thanks a bunch for watching. If you want to hear more of me rambling about mental health, well, you can click right here and watch more videos. Thanks a bunch for stopping by. You can like the video, comment, the whole spiel if you want. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna go finish this coffee and I'm gonna go have a mental breakdown about if I was actually authentic in this whole thing. Okay, bye.